I am as certain as ever that the claims we have been making are accurate claims, that there is intelligence information that backs it up, and that there has been a real attempt to undermine this president, and it has come from the scariest of places. Some of the very people we've been talking about will be exposed, and the key reason that all Americans need to see this memo is that it names names. It says who was involved with who, how different actors and characters we've heard about interacted with one another, and that is the type of information that we need all Americans to see immediately.
How is everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this memo. Hashtag release the memo. I'm sure you've seen it on social media. You see it in the title of this video. You saw Matt Gaetz. I think that's how you pronounce his name. If I'm wrong about his name being pronounced that way, let me know in the comments. But I'm sure many of you have heard about this by now. We're going to get into this Breitbart article to see exactly what's going on. I don't really know for 100% certain myself, but we're definitely going to take a look and see what's happening here. And you see the headline on the screen before you, and you also heard my man Matt before the video started. This headline says, worse than Watergate, shocking. House Intel memo allegedly reveals FISA abuse by senior DOJ and FBI officials. Now, let's get into it to see what's happening. This is by Christina Wong, and this is, like I said, yesterday. Has a lot of comments, a lot of reactions. It's a pretty hot story. Members of the House on Thursday said they viewed a shocking classified memo allegedly detailing the abuse of Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, by senior Justice Department and Federal Bureau of Investigation officials in relation to the investigation of the Trump campaign, and called for it to be declassified and available to the public immediately. That's the whole release the memo hashtag. Hopefully this gets released. Maybe it gets released by the time I'm done with this video. Maybe it doesn't, but I hope that it does, so we get a lot more clarity as to what's going on. All we could do right now is basically kind of speculate as to what's in it. I think that if it does exist, I'm pretty sure it does exist. What's in it is known, but to release it to the American people would do for much more transparency and clarity to the situation. Back to the article. It's troubling. It's shocking. Rep. Mark Meadows, Republican from North Carolina, told Fox News, and there is a link for that, I guess, exactly what he said. And this article will be, as always, in the description box below. Part of me wishes that I didn't read it because I don't want to believe that those kinds of things could be happening in this country that I call home and love so much. The facts contained in this memo are jaw-dropping and demand full transparency. There's no higher priority than the release of this information to preserve our democracy, said Rep. Matt Gaetz, Republican from Florida, a member of the Judiciary Committee, which oversees the DOJ and the FBI. Another Judiciary Committee member, Rep. Steve King, Republican from Iowa, called what he saw in the memo sickening and said it was worse than Watergate. And here's his tweet right here on the screen before you, right here over my left-hand shoulder. He says, I've read the memo. The sickening reality has set in. I no longer hold out hope that there is an innocent explanation for the information the public has seen. I have long said it was worse than Watergate. It was hashtag never Trump and hashtag always Hillary, hashtag release the memo. Wow. And this tweet has a lot of attention, you know, almost 4,000 comments, almost 30,000 retweets, and almost 40,000 likes. So this is getting a lot of attention. And the more attention it gets, the more pressure will be mounting to hashtag release that memo. Rep. Ron DeSantis, Republican from Florida, another Judiciary Committee member, called the memo deeply troubling and said it raises questions about the Obama DOJ and the Comey FBI. The classified report compiled by House Intelligence is deeply troubling and raises serious questions about the upper echelon of the Obama DOJ and Comey FBI as it relates to the so-called collusion investigation, he tweeted. And here's his tweet right here. You think about it. This is happening in America, or is this the KGB? That's how alarming it is. Rep. Scott Perry, Republican from Pennsylvania, told Fox News. And that's kind of interesting about that KGB comment because the left, the lamestream media who is in bed with the left, always want to accuse the right of somehow being in collusion, quote unquote collusion with Russia, with Vladimir Putin, with, you know, Russian spies, operatives or whatever. They've embodied all those behaviors right now, current day in 2018. but at the same time pointing the finger at the other side saying that you guys are doing it yourselves. It is so alarming that the American people have to see this. Rep. Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio, a senior member of the Judiciary Committee, said to the network. The viewing of the memo came after all Republican members of the House Intelligence Committee, whose investigators compiled the classified memo, voted Thursday to make it available to all House members. Every Democrat on the committee voted against it. I wonder why. What's wrong with transparency? Why can't we see what's going on? Maybe you don't want us to see what's going on. Maybe you got something to hide. According to Gaetz, the memo's contents could lead to the firing and perhaps even jailing of senior DOJ and FBI officials. So maybe Coleman started writing on the wall. Maybe he knew that the memo would be released. Maybe he knew there was a lot of, underhanded stuff going on. So I don't know. Maybe he wanted to get himself fired, get out of there. I don't really know. Quote, I think that this will not end just with firings. I believe there are people who will go to jail, unquote, he said on Fox News' Hannity. He said what he saw in the memo also explains why Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, Republican from Iowa, and Judiciary Subcommittee Chairman Lindsey Graham, Republican from South Carolina, recently referred the Fusion GPS dossier author Christopher Steele for a criminal investigation. I think there will also be criminal implications here, Gaetz added. The memo also reportedly contains information about a dossier put together by Fusion GPS that alleged Trump and members of his team colluded with the Russians in 2016 election, according to a report by investigative journalist Sarah Carter. Yeah, the whole Fusion GPS thing is going to come back to bottom right in the hind parts. I think what it was a way to try and discredit Trump and the campaign, to try and derail him. But it wound up just being a whole big mess because of the people that were involved, the methods they used to achieve their goals. All that's going to come back and bite them in the hind parts in the end. And, it is what it is. I don't feel bad for them because they put this on themselves. You can't just go out here and create lies, Russian girls peeing on the bed. I mean, stupid stuff that was obviously dumb that would garner some questions to say, hey, is this legitimate? Is this accurate? Let's do a little bit of investigation. And in that investigation, what they turn up is a corruption on their side. It's funny how all these people have basically colluded to work against Trump, to work against the Republican Party, to work in favor of Hillary Clinton. It's funny how they all come together to do that. But really, what they all have done is come together to basically sink themselves. It's like if you're trying to win the battle in the boat, a naval mission, and you just keep sending the cannonballs to your own boat rather than the other side. It was revealed in October that the dossier was funded by the Hillary Clinton campaign and a Democratic National Committee. Despite being a political document, the dossier was reportedly part of evidence FBI officials used to apply for and obtain a warrant through a secret FISA court to spy on Trump campaign advisor Carter Page. Page told Breitbart News in this statement, quote, after over a year of inciting discord and threats of violence across America, it's encouraging that the individuals in Washington responsible for these efforts to undermine our great democracy may be held accountable soon, unquote. Very good point. Hopefully this happens. Hopefully it's just not like, the lock her up campaign with Hillary. I really wanted Hillary to go to jail, but as we see now, that may not be doable. That may not be a realistic expectation, but hopefully things go right in this situation. You got some low-level guys. They probably will go to jail, but I really need to see that memo to see what's going on, to see the extent of it. I could tell that it's bad, but I want to see the extent of it. Breitbart News reported on March 3rd, 2017, that the Obama administration took steps to undermine Trump's presidential campaign using police state tactics, including spying on the Trump campaign. That report is widely believed to have led to President Trump's tweet that later accused the Obama administration of wiretapping Trump Tower. I remember that, where he spelled tap with two T's or whatever. I remember that. Yes. And everybody said it was crazy. Not everybody, but a lot of folks said he was crazy. You're floating conspiracy theories, listen to too much Breitbart, get out of your bunker, this, that, and the third. But now we're seeing evidence that corroborates his statement. Okay. So he's not so crazy anymore, is he? Neither am I, and neither are those of us who got called crazy for believing that tweet, for believing that the Democrats were colluding against the Republicans, for believing that everybody, mainstream media, Democratic Party, all these people, big money, George Soros, that they were in bed with Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party, and also that the Democratic Party and the Hillary Clinton campaign are one and the same. And also that they were conspiring against Bernie. It was all for Hillary to get into office, but all their efforts failed. Members of the public and Congress are now calling for the document to be declassified and released to the public. Here's a tweet from Lee Zeldin. It says, immediately, hashtag release the memo, hashtag FISA memo, and all relevant material sourced in it. Every American needs to know the truth. We wouldn't be revealing any sources and methods that we shouldn't. Only Fed's reliance on bad sources and methods. DeSantis said the House Intelligence Committee, pursuant to House rules, should vote to make the report publicly available as soon as possible. While the report is classified as top secret, I believe the Select Committee should, pursuant to the House rules, vote to make the report publicly available as soon as possible. This is a matter of national significance and the American people deserve the truth, he said. Here we go. Rule X of the House rules allows the Select Committee to publicly disclose any information in its possession after determination by the Select Committee that the public interest will be served by such disclosure. There we go. So let's invoke that Rule X. Let's invoke it right now to get this thing released. According to House rules, if the House Intelligence Committee votes to make the report public, President Trump will have 5 days to issue an objection. If he objected, it would take a vote on the House floor. Now, I think this will get released. I have hope that it will. It may be kind of a, uphill battle, but I think it should get released. You're going to have all Democrats, maybe a couple of Republicans that say, no, it shouldn't, but it should, because look, this needs to get put out there. This right here, in my opinion, would be a great aid in draining the swamp, because if you have people that may go to jail, that may be implicated, if not go to jail, they definitely will be found guilty by the court of public opinion. These people at a certain point are going to be pushed out, and that's going to help drain the swamp. These are the kind of individuals doing things that is going to undermine our nation. It doesn't even matter if you're a Trump supporter or not. You may hate Trump, but do you think that this method of going about things and, doing criminal actions is appropriate to keep a guy out that you don't want? Whatever happened to the American people voting for who they want? Okay. If we voted for Trump and that's who we want, that's who we should have in office. You shouldn't have these people that are in the government working against the American people, because the government is there for us. The government is not there to serve just Democrats, just Republicans, just Hillary Clinton, just Al Gore, just Slick Willie, just Barack Obama, just President Trump, just anybody. Is there to serve the American people. So if they're doing things that are criminal, illegal, unethical, for the advancement of one particular party, one particular person, shouldn't we know that as American people, or should that just be withheld from us, information that's too sensitive for us to really know? I doubt that to be accurate. I doubt that to be true. I want to see that memo, hashtag release the memo. So what do you think? Do you think there's going to be a lot in this memo that we should know? Will it be groundbreaking information? Will anybody go to jail as a result? Should anybody go to jail if there's been some illegal activity uncovered, some criminal actions? Should they all get pardoned by President Trump? Do you think that this memo is a nothing burger, that it's a distraction from the Republican Party to discredit to left? Now, my question is this. If it's a nothing burger, then why did all Democrats vote against making it public? I mean, not even public, like to the actual people, if I'm not mistaken. I'm talking about letting the House see it. Why is it such a document that's so sensitive that the House can't even see it? Okay, I can understand maybe you don't want the general public to see it, not all of it, because maybe some incriminating information, some personal information that shouldn't be released. But the House, shouldn't everybody that's in government see government documents to see what's going on, to see how their peers, how their cohorts are handling certain business? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.